Hey everybody, Kyle, not your average finance guy. Wanted to talk to you today a little bit about what is the first thing that you should do for, or that I would do for retirement. And I'm filming this. It's just about it'll come out on New Year's Eve of 2024, and we just spent a bunch of time with family. And I've got a bunch of nieces and nephews that are all right around 22, 27, somewhere in there. So I kind of ran a scenario for your typical 25-year-old. So what is the first thing that I would do if I were in that situation now? And the number one thing that I would probably do is a Roth IRA. Now, a Roth IRA is a retirement account, so you're setting this up. This is long-term. It's got long-term growth. And what you could do is, the way a Roth works, you do your job, you go to work, whatever it is, however you make money. So you take your taxes out. Those are already done. They're taken out, and then you put them into your Roth IRA. Since the taxes have already been paid, now the growth of this Roth IRA is tax-free, but when you go to take it out, that is also tax-free. So a traditional IRA is you take pre-tax money and you put that into your IRA, and then it also grows tax-free, but then you pay your taxes when you take it out. And the theory behind the traditional IRA is what people always told me when I was growing up is, go ahead and get your IRA going, because when you finally retire, now you won't have an income anymore, so you'll be in the lower tax bracket. It's like, well, I don't want to be poor when I retire. Like, I want to be pulling so much money out of my IRA that I want to either continue living the way I was, or I want it to increase. So if I do that, now you got to pay taxes on what you pull out after the fact. When you're in retirement, now you have to pay taxes on all that money that you pull. To me, it's taken. You're just delaying when you pay the taxes. So it depends on who you talk to. Some people are pro this one, con this one, and every way in between. But the way I always thought about it is, when I retire, I want to be loaded, right? I want to be rich. So at that point, I want this Roth IRA to be, here and ready to roll, and I can just pull it all out, and it's all tax-free, and it just comes right to my account, and I can continue living the way I'm living. So 6 of one, half a dozen the other, but that's the way I've always looked at it. Open a Roth IRA. Okay, how in the hell do you do that? So, well, it's super easy, and I am going to show you. So first thing you do, just Google, or I'm on DuckDuckGo, Vanguard. So you can do this with any one of them probably, but I've heard Vanguard. I used to have a Vanguard account, and they're very low fees, and you're just going to go in and find something that tracks S&P 500. So let's just see. We'll go through it together. So I'm going to go to Vanguard.com right here, and let's see where we go. All right, we're thinking. Let's see what do we want to do here. We are a personal investor. All right, and we want to open an account, and let's see, I already have a login. I actually do, but I'm just gonna pretend that I'm over here with you guys, and we are gonna sign up. And let's see here, what do we want to how can we help you get started? We want to open a new account with money from my bank. So I'm filming this in the very end of 2024. You can contribute to your Roth IRA in 2024. For your 2024 Roth IRA, you can contribute that in 2025 as long as you do it before you file your taxes. So according to the IRS, it went in, in 2024, and that's completely legal. So what we're going to do is we're going to say we've got money in the bank, and that's how we're going to fund it. And you can watch this 3-minute video if you want, but just continue. And then how do you want to manage it? Do you want Vanguard services? Do you want somebody that's going to make money to help you out? Or do you want to watch this free video and do it on your own? I would just say do it on your own. We're going to pick something that just mirrors the S&P 500, and really the stock investors, no one can really beat that. So even Warren Buffett says just buy the S&P 500 and let that do the rest. Everyone says diversify. Well, the S&P 500 is the 500 biggest stocks in the stock market. So it's got the top stock, and it's got the 500 top stock. And if the number 500, has a bad year and they fall off, and somebody else comes in, it automatically always shimmies those around. So you really don't have to worry about anything. It's, to me, if you're in the stock market, that's the ultimate diversification. You don't really have to think about it. So I just invest on my own here, and it takes you to, all right, here's an overview of what's next. So we want to select an account. Here, because we're going to the Roth IRA, that's a retirement account, okay? You could do a general investing account, you can do a bunch of other stuff, but we're just going to go to the retirement account, and we're going to do this for yourself. And we want right here where it says Roth, we want that Roth. The traditional, like I touched on before, and if you think a traditional is better for you, then by all means go for it. You know, doing something is better than nothing. I like the Roth, so I'm going to select that. All right, you're opening a Roth brokerage. In 2024, you can contribute up to $7,000, $8,000 if you're 50 and over. Now, I would definitely say if you've got $7,000 sitting in the bank, and you know some of these guys they've got great jobs, they just figured out or just got new jobs where they're making some good money, still living at home. Like you guys have $7,000, like put that to work, put that in for 2024. And then we'll continue in 2025 with micro deposit. So every time you get paid, I would say just deposit that money, and hopefully you can do the 7,000. But if you can't, I understand. If it's something lower, just do what you can. You can contribute up to 7,000, but try to max that out as best you can. So some highlights of a Roth right here, as you see, tax-free growth on investment earnings. So it all grows tax-free. You've already paid the taxes on it, but the growth is tax-free. So that's key. Tax-free withdrawals and no required age at which you must withdraw. So with a traditional IRA, the IRS wants their tax money, right? So they say, I forget what year it is, like if you're 70 or 70 and a half, I think it is, you have to start taking money out of your IRA. So it's been growing tax-free. When you hit that certain age, the IRS is like, all right, you've been living, tax-free this whole time. You got to start pulling some of that out so we can start getting some of our taxes back. There's none of that with the Roth IRA because you've already paid the taxes, so they don't really care. Income tax filing status can limit the eligibility. So if you make too much money, you can't do this. Great problem to have, I guess, but there still is a way to do that if you need to. You can get a hold of me and I can it's called a backdoor Roth IRA conversion. And then you can invest in anything, you can mutual funds, ETFs, CDs, money market, however. If you've got an investment style that you want to do, I would suggest you just, like I said, it's stocks in the S&P 500. You're 25 years old. You're going to start with $7,000. And the stock market is kind of high right now. It's going to go up. It's going to go down. I don't know what it's going to do today or tomorrow, but I can guarantee you that it's going to both go up and go down. A lot of people, as soon as you put that $7,000 in, if it takes a nosedive, who cares? You guys literally have 40 years of contributing to this thing. If you can put $7,000 a year into this for the next 40 years, the best thing that could happen for you right now is for the stock market to go down and to even go way down. That means you're buying more shares cheaper as time goes on because it's going to go up. Then when it does go up, now you got way more shares and you just make more money. So, all right, we're opening a Roth. Let's continue. And let's see, what's our next page here? All right, that's where you got to start telling them about yourself. I can't do this because I already have an account here, so it's just going to kick me right back out. But go through, fill this out, and then when you go in to pick your investment, it's just it's an S&P, it's a Vanguard S&P 500 fund. I would put 100% of my money in there. That's what I would do. You do what you want to do, but that's what I did, and it worked out great. So another thing about the Roth IRA is if it's invested for 5 years, say you put $7,000 in and that's it. Well, in 5 years, you can pull that $7,000 back out. Penalty-free, tax-free, because you put that in. Now you cannot say that 7,000 has gone up in value and it's now, the shares that you have is now worth 10,000. So you can't take the whole 10,000 out. You can take the 7,000 out free of, tax-free and without penalty, but that extra 3,000 in there, that you would have to pay a penalty on. So the gains, the 3,000 of gains, as long as you just keep that in there, you're fine. And that's actually what I did. I dumped maxed this out for years and years. And then when I went to buy some rental property, the first time I bought some rental property, I needed a big down payment, and I pulled all that money back out that I had contributed over the last decade, and I used that as my down payment then for the real estate that I bought. And I've still got the Roth IRA, the gains were all in there. I probably, knowing what I know now, I probably wouldn't have done that or shouldn't have done that, but I did it, and whatever, it's water under the bridge at this point. So let's go through that, and here's what could happen. Okay, so back to our compound interest calculator. Actually, I'm gonna make a new one here with everyone. So I go to here, and all right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna say that we've got $7,000 to invest in, from 2024, and we're gonna continue that moving forward. This one, no one really knows. I think, Dave Ramsey always says 8% is a conservative, but let's take a conservative interest rate at 8%. Say that the S&P 500 index fund that you're going to get into with Vanguard or whoever, Fidelity, I don't care, that it's going to keep with about an average of 8%. So if we do that, 8% annual, and then we're going to go through here. Let's say you're 25 and you're going to do this until you're 65. Okay, so let's say we're going to do this for 40 years. And additional contributions, yes, we are going to make a deposit amount. So let's take let's see, $7,000 divided by 12 months is $583.33 a month. So we're going to make a payment to that every month, and we're going to try to do that right out of our paycheck so we really don't miss it. I'll say at the beginning, and that's it. And we're going to do this for 40 years. Let's see what happens. Let's see what we have at the end of 40 years. I always like this graph too. So in 40 years, you have deposited $280,000. All right, that's what you put into this. It's worth $2.2 million. Okay. $7,000, we're starting with that, and we put $7,000 in a year in for 40 years. Let's say you don't want to retire till you're 70. You're going to keep on cranking this until you're 70. Look what 45 does. 5 more years takes you up to 3.3. So here's our graph down here. You've put in $314,000, $315,000. You've got $3.3 million. So imagine. Let's fast forward a little bit when you're 70 years old. Look at your grandparents that are 70 years old, and where are they sitting? What do they have right now? Had they done this, for the last 40, 45 years, they've got 3.3 million. Hopefully they've got other stuff going on. Hopefully the house is paid for. Maybe they've got some other rental real estate or whatever their other investments are. But this one is all $3.3 million that you can withdraw whenever you want, fully tax-free. All right. And you don't have to withdraw anything. So this is going to continue to grow. I wouldn't take pull out 3.5 million or 3.3 million right then and there. I'd let it go. And, who knows what you're going to need at that point. Maybe you want to take out $200,000 a year. So take that out and let the rest is still going to keep on growing, hopefully. So that's kind of where everything's at. Like I said, I had a couple questions of what's the first thing I would do. And right there it is. That's what I did when I was young, and probably one of the best financial decisions that I made, and totally glad I did it. I sometimes kick myself for taking the money out of it and buying the real estate, but can't go and undo it. So go ahead and start there, and this will definitely set you up to be a millionaire when you retire. All right, hope this helps. Please let me know if you got any questions, and good luck, everybody.